In these next videos, we're going to set up a web environment using Dev Desktop on a Mac. If you're on a Mac, these videos are for you. If you're on Windows or Linux, you can safely skip these. The quickest way I've found to set up a Drupal web environment is through an application called Dev Desktop. So what we're going to do here is install Dev Desktop, set up a site, and then also show how to empty out that site folder so you can use it to follow along with any of the cross-platform videos on Build a Module. So here in Google, I'm going to search for Dev Desktop, and I'm going to go to the first link. I'm going to click Download Now, and here I am on acquia.com/downloads, and I'm going to click the Mac download. I'll click Save. When it's done downloading, I'm going to launch it, and then I'm going to double-click the Acquia Dev Desktop Installer.app. It may ask you for a password. Click Next. Next again. We'll accept the license agreement, and you can choose whether to keep the diagnostic information checked here. I'll click Next. I'm going to leave these at the defaults, but you can change the location where the application is actually installed and the default sites folder. Although keep in mind that it's possible to locate your sites elsewhere on your hard drive by importing them to Dev Desktop. I'll click Next. Most of the time you can leave these ports at their defaults, but if you have another stack installer, it may conflict. You can always come back and change these later. I'll click Next, and Next again, and then finally Next to begin the installation process. We'll keep this checked and click Finish. And here's a dialog that helps you get started. I'm going to uncheck this box to make sure this doesn't pop up again, and I'm going to exit this so that we know how to add a new site later when that dialog isn't popping up. So to create a new Drupal site, we're going to click the plus sign in the lower corner. We'll click New Drupal Site, and then you can choose the variety of Drupal that you'd like to work with. At the top is Drupal 8 and Drupal 7, and then below that is a series of distributions that are basic Drupal bundled with modules and configuration. Let's go ahead and choose Drupal 8. I'll click Install. You may want to change the site name and database name to match up with the project that you're working with, but Dev Desktop will select some options here that are unique. So you can just click Finish if you don't care. Once the process is finished, we can open up our local site by clicking this link right here. Dev Desktop will fill in everything having to do with the database, and it will pre-select a profile. If we click Save and Continue here, we'll see the database name and username pre-filled in. Keep in mind that if you need to access the database manually later, the username is Drupal user, and we can click Save and Continue to continue the installation process. Once that's done, you can complete the setup process and you're good to go. So at this point, spinning up additional Drupal sites means just opening up the Dev Desktop control panel and clicking the plus sign down in the lower left-hand corner. If you need to access the code base in order to install modules or themes or back up the files, you can just click on this local code link here. So to create a backup, you would just copy this entire folder. If you need to access the database in order to export it, you can click this link next to local database, and this will open up phpMyAdmin in the browser. You can see our database here, and to export it, you can just click it and click Export, and then go.